the suite and watch it basically from the television view. Yeah.
Wow. Well, I'll tell you who looked good yesterday. The guy had 4 neck procedures.
Yeah.
He's now a 4-time MVP, and he was good last night. Peyton Manning taking on the Steelers he looked like Peyton Manning. Getting it done. 19 of 26 tossing the ball, 253 yards, 2 touchdowns, his 400th career touchdown in the first half. We asked you this: did Peyton prove to you that he is back, Skip Bayless?
Peyton Manning looked like it was mid-season of 2 seasons ago. That's how good he looked, especially once he got more in rhythm in the second half when they started going no huddle and he really got hot. He looked 100% Peyton Manning. Maybe the arm strength is slightly less. I don't think it matters because the brain is still operating at a high capacity, as high as ever. And Peyton Manning took, 3 or 4 pretty good licks, pretty good shots, jumped right back up, no huddled, and win again. I don't see anything wrong with Peyton Manning, which is why I said from the start, I've been saying for 6 months now, Jim Irsay made the biggest mistake of his career when he tried to start over and run Peyton basically out of Indianapolis. He is going to regret this for the next 3 years because I see Peyton Manning being a franchise quarterback and a Pro Bowl caliber quarterback for 3 years in Denver and put them back on the map.
I'm with it. I'm with it. I think he is the Peyton of old. I mean, I think the only thing that was hurting him was the neck. It was nothing about the arm or the legs or saying he lost his touch. He knows the game better than anybody else. I played against him twice. There was not a quarterback that was more difficult to game plan against and study against. You're sitting there trying to make checks, and I prided myself on being that guy to counter a quarterback. But when he has the last say, and when he gets into that tempo like he did in the second half, you struggle a little bit as a defense. The only thing I'm concerned about is it's going to take a while for this chemistry, for this team and Peyton Manning, for them to understand how Peyton Manning works. That doesn't just happen overnight. In Indianapolis with the Colts, it took a while. I just don't know. I think he faced a Steelers team that was down a couple players.
It was.
Ryan Clark wasn't there. James Harrison wasn't there. A couple players with retirement are gone. He's back. But I still think there's some issues there.
There's definitely some issues, and obviously I think one of the biggest things is youth, because what his understanding of the game so significantly eclipses that of everybody else around him, particularly younger players, the Demaryius Thomases of the world and others. It's going to take a little while for them to get a hold of it. But the thing that stood out in my mind throughout Peyton Manning's career, I got some numbers here. I remember they were talking about pressure that was put on him throughout his career. 24.4% of the time you sent major heat his way. The Denver Broncos, that's like rushing at least 5 pass rushes or anything like that. The the Pittsburgh Steelers yesterday sent them 14 or 29 times, and they sacked them twice. Okay, that's almost 50%. Yet and still during that time, he went 9 for 11 for 152 yards and 2 touchdowns. That tells me more than anything he's back, because the pressure that you put on him, if he responds to that, whether it's him getting hit, getting up, whether it's him doing things under duress, he's showing that he's not fidgety. You know, that he doesn't have happy feet in the pocket or anything like that. I give him a lot of credit for it. I won't go as far as you say, because I still think that Andrew Luck has a tremendous amount of potential. You got a chance to get a young quarterback like that. I think the Colts will be just fine. You went with the youth movement. It happens all the time. It's not like Peyton Manning was winning the Super Bowl every year. He's got 1 Super Bowl championship in his illustrious career.
I know, but he put you in position.
I know, always.
Every year
he put you in position, and we saw the difference. Some people were saying last year he was the MVP because he didn't play, because they went from like 12 or 4, 13 and 3 to like 2 and 14. So we understand his value. But at the same time, if you're not winning Super Bowls and you have an opportunity to get a guy the quality of an Andrew Luck, I'm not going to fault Irsay for that. I don't like how he handled it, but I'm not going to fault his decision. As it pertains to Peyton Manning, I'm looking at Denver, and I told you, managing the clock, ball control, the decision-making, it not just only builds confidence, but also it spells for the defense in its own way to some degree, which you can speak to. And I think as a result, Denver's defense is going to be that much more formidable. And Porter back there is big. I mean, this dude is a playmaker, which Peyton Manning knows better than anybody after this man won the Super Bowl by intercepting Peyton Manning's
pass.
pass.
How about what he did to your man Brett Favre in the NFC Championship game? He ended that one.
That too. So you got that. He intercepted Peyton in the Super Bowl last night. He got Big Ben. And, I mean, listen, you got playmakers in the secondary. Denver is no joke. They are a threat, but Peyton Manning has everything to do with that. It's undeniable.
You know what else is going to help Denver? They're in a weak division.
Yes.
They're in a weak division. Yeah. And I think he has a
San Diego shows up.
Well,
or Kansas City.
Well, that's like flipping a coin going heads or tails. We really don't know. We really don't know.
But who won the division last year?
Denver. But it was 8-8.
I mean,
they backed in.
They backed in.
They lost 3 in a row to end the season.
They swept the division on the road.
They lost 3 in a row to end the season.
They started out 1-4. How do you back in from 1-4?
If you lose 3 in a row to end the season, that's backing in. If you finish 8-8 and you lose 3 in a row, that's backing in. That's the definition of backing in.
But how many years is that going to happen? How many years is that going to really happen when you're going to back in 8-8? I don't think it's going to happen this year. I think you need at least 10 wins to get in that.
Yeah. All right, well, my only disappointment last night in Peyton was he only threw for 98 yards in the first half. Tebow against that same defense with James Harrison threw for 185. 185 in the first half. In the first half. I just had to throw that in.
No, we're not talking Tebow. He's irrelevant today.
I just had to throw that in.
Irrelevant.
No, he's not.
Okay, guys.
He's the elephant in this living room.
In our pre-show meeting, there was one topic that Antonio was really hot for.
Yes, he was.
And that's the game that was played in Lambeau Field yesterday. We're talking Niners and Packers. And I'll tell you what, San Francisco, they came out and they were balling getting it done. 30-22, they get the win there, snapping Green Bay's 13-game home winning streak. Alex Smith outperforming the